Hi, welcome to yet another series under Get More from Mallapuram, wherein the purpose of actually hosting this webinar is to provide clarity such that you will have confidence on what are the policies that you have purchased or planning to purchase. Okay, and that's a reason why we always say that. Whatever the policies that we do it, we need to have a proper understanding of whatever the coverages that we have and what are the conditions under which the policy pays the claim and what are the conditions under which it doesn't give us the coverage. So this is the reason why we have started this Get More from Mallapuram. And coming to the declarations, even before we get into today's topic, we would love to declare that we do not represent any insurance company. So we represent here the requirements of our clients and their friends and relatives, and we suggest them something which is not in line with not in line with the requirements of the company rather than the requirements of yourself. Okay, and at the same time we'll be discussing issues related to only insurance, no politics and no movies. So we'll be discussing only issues related to insurance, and we do not intend to criticize a particular person or an organization or a product of an organization in this show. But if it happens, it is not by intentional, it is only by chance. At the same time, whatever the points that we discuss here in this webinar series, all those points are absolutely personal and it can't be taken as an evidence under any court of law. I hope this is very clear for each of you. Right? With these declarations, let us now enter into today's webinar topic. The topic is, what are the three things? What are the three things that we need to take care while we are renewing our health insurance policy? Okay, so this is the topic, and coming to the agenda, how we are actually going to do it. So the agenda is going to be, we'll be first discussing about the situation, like during the time of renewal, how the situation is going to be, right? And then we'll try to have a detailed discussion wherein we'll try to provide the clarity such that you will have confidence. This is the main section under which we'll be discussing the entire details, and then we'll be also doing a conclusion part of whatever the points that we have learned, and then we'll go into the action points. Let me tell you very clearly, by the end of this webinar, you will be having a clear-cut clarity about the steps which you need to follow during the renewal of your health insurance and what are the changes that you might have to look into while you are renewing your policy. I hope this is clear. If you're clear, just type in clear in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So with that, let's do the analysis of the current condition. Okay. During the renewal of the policy, the three things are going to happen. Either we get a call, or we get an SMS, or we get an email. So this is how we actually get communicated about the renewal of our policy. Okay. And sometimes it is your intermediary, like your agent or your broker, who calls you up, or it is the insurance company persons who calls up, and we get an SMS that, like, this is the due of the policy, and there's a payment link which they provided there. You click on that, it will directly take you to the payment gateway, right? So this is how, like, the entire process is being automated now. And the biggest mistake that each of us we do while renewing the policy is just renewing the policy without any review. You heard it right. We just renew the policy without reviewing what is the policy that we have, what is the coverages that we have. Is it really the same coverages what we have purchased it before, or because the situation got changed, so is it covering us to the extent of possibility, like the maximum coverage, which the way how it should be? We don't look into that. Okay, so that's why we look here in this webinar series a detailed discussion on this. That's where we go to the next section, that's providing the clarity for confidence. So you will have enough of clarity in this particular session on renewing your policy, wherein you will have a clarity on what are the parameters that you need to look into, and what are the things or what are the factors that you need to focus on in getting a better coverage. Okay, so let's start the discussion. The first important thing which we have to take care is check the communication details. Check the details on the policy. Okay, and what are the details that we need to check on the policy? It's about the communication details and the people who are covered under the policy and the premium change. Is there any change in the premium? Okay, you have to look through all these three details. And where do you find it? It's all available on your existing policy copy. So what you are supposed to do, pull out your policy and check through these details. So communication details, what are the things that we need to check? The first one is about the name. The name is same as it is there on the ID proof. Because when there's a claim, it's not just the policy that we give, it is also along with the policy copy, we also give the ID proof. The name on the ID proof and the name on the policy should be same. And it's not just you, it is also your family members. Names and their date of birth, everything should match with the ID proof. Right? So it's a mobile number, is it same? Because these days I have seen people changing the mobile numbers. Once if the mobile number is changed, then it has to be updated. Because all the communications, they will come from the insurance company on your mobile and your email ID. So these two details need to be maintained, and if need to be corrected, it has to be corrected. We have seen one case wherein, not one case, many cases we have seen wherein the email ID mentioned is correct. But we have seen when we actually go through the detail perfectly, there's actually a gap in between or a dot in between, because of which the email doesn't come to your inbox. And therein lies the real reason why people don't get their renewal notices either on mail or on their mobile number. It's only because the number which is mentioned, the email ID which is mentioned is wrong. And let me also share you one more detail. The regulator states it very clearly, and it also mandates the policyholders to take care of their renewal, because they can't put it on to the insurance company and say they have not sent me the renewal notice, they have not sent me the messages, not even they haven't even called me up as a reason for not renewing your policy. It is not agreeable. See, you are equally responsible just like an insurance company, because it's a contract. Insurance company will definitely provide all the details, will give the enough of communication, but the details mentioned are wrong, then how do you expect them to come and contact you? Okay, so the details which you need to take care are the communication details, even the address details. Of course, these days, because of the pandemic situation, regulators say till 31st of March, no, for 2021, no need to send across any physical copies, but still, after pandemic, probably they will start even sending the communication to the address. So the address details need to be perfect. Probably when you have taken the policy, you're in some other place. Now you have shifted your home to some other location. So the details need to be changed. And at least during the renewal, if you check through these details, there's a possibility of correcting all these errors such that you will have a proper communication from the insurance company. Okay, and this is the communication details. Next comes the people who are covered. So who are the people who are covered? And I'll tell you, there are few situations wherein we have seen the person, the newborn baby is not been added into the policy, and then there is some medical emergency which turned up, and the newborn baby has been admitted to the hospital. That's when we pull out the policy copy and submit it in the hospital, we realize that the newborn is not covered in the policy. Why? Because his name and date of birth has been not updated into the policy. Okay, right? So please check the people who are covered under your policy, right? And the name, what are the things that we need to check? It's the name, right? Name, date of birth, right? The relation, and the amount of cover. Sometimes it is like, no, every person has got a separate individual cover. So we need to check what is the amount of cover which you have, and the date of inception. This is something which is mandatory. Date of inception will define what is the how much of experience you have with the policy. Okay, even if your policy has been ported into a new product of another insurance company, even in that product they will mention the date of inception or from the first policy. Okay, so these details, unless it is mentioned properly on the policy copy, your validation of the experience doesn't happen, right? Especially when you're porting or when you're migrating, you have to look through these details, right? And so these are the details of coverage which we have. And have we ever declared any PED, that is pre-existing diseases? If you have mentioned, we have given the details to the intermediary when we take the policy. Just check through the policy whether those has been there on the policy copy. If it is not there on the policy copy, then guess what's going to happen? If there is a claim, we will declare it in the hospital, and the hospital will mention that it's a pre-existing disease. And then when the insurance company sees that you have not mentioned in the policy copy, probably it's an error. But they will consider that because you have not given the complete details, it's a contract void ab initio. That means the insurance policy does not exist. Okay, they might even go ahead and cancel the policy. So check through the details. Whatever the details have you given, at least all those things are mentioned on the policy copy or not. Especially the PED, the date of birth, the name, all those details should be there and correct on the policy copy. Right? And then comes the third one. The third one is the premium which got changed. Normally we see the premium is generally changed only if you change the age bracket. Change the age bracket means probably once the person has taken the policy, he is at age 35, and now because the renewal comes the next year, his age has become 36. Generally what we have seen from 36 to 45, it's a different age band and the premium will change. There are also a few companies wherein every year the premium changes. So different companies follow a different concept, but we need to understand why there is an increase in premium. Few companies, they also even load the claims. Because there is a claim, they will also load into the policy. Now there are very few which are available in the market which are like that, but otherwise only if the band changes it happens, or even if the version of the policy changes. They might have added up some new benefits into the policy. Because it is a new benefit which is added to the policy, the premium also changes. Okay, so there lies the real reason why the premium actually changes. So the age band, it can change, or the new version of the policy which has come up, or if the claims ratio has increased within the entire policy. So say suppose some 3 lakh people have actually taken the policy, and the total premium paid and the claims which have been paid through the pool of the collected premium, if it is going to be more than the premium which has been collected, the regulator allows the insurance company to change its premium on renewal. Even in those conditions, the premium can change, right? Okay, so if you have any confusion over here, we have there's a flashing QR code over here. You can take a snap of it, or you can also click on the this link, wherein will be there. Me and my team will be there to help you to review your existing policy, to go through the details of your existing policy and have a proper coverage in place. Okay, so there lies the first thing, the thing which you need to take care. The first thing, the details on the policy. You have to review it once. Okay. Next comes the second important thing that you have to take care while you are renewing your policy is please check the conditions and the exclusions on the policy. Okay, you have to check the exclusions and conditions of coverage on your insurance policy. Now, how are we going to do that? Let's get deep into that. Okay, coming to the exclusions part. Exclusions, if you look at, then normally if you actually take the policy, the coverage doesn't start right from day one. Okay, and now because this is a renewal, that means we expect that minimum 1 year is been covered. So check through the details, like whether the first year exclusions is now been covered or not. Number one. Second, there are few diseases which are not covered for 2 years. So check through the details whether the 2 years exclusions are now getting covered or not. Go through the policy document. It's all mentioned over there. Okay. Next comes the pre-existing cover. Have we mentioned any pre-existing diseases under the policy? If yes, by now if it is 2 years done or 3 years done, still there's 1 more year to go through and then get your pre-existing covered. But there are also a few policies wherein you pay some additional premium and get this timeline brought down to 1 year. Okay, so check through those details whether the pre-existing diseases are covered from now after the renewal or not. Okay, and what are the permanent exclusions? What are things which are never paid? Never paid, for example, like there is a diagnosis which has happened, there is a disease which has been detected, but there is no treatment which has happened to the patient as an inpatient in the hospital. Okay, so the three things which are required for the treatment: the diagnosis, the disease detection, and the treatment as an inpatient. If any of these things are not there, it's a permanent exclusion, right? And say suppose there is an anemic condition which has happened, a rundown condition is also a permanent exclusion. Suicide is a permanent exclusion. Okay, self-inflicted injury, permanent exclusion. Okay, so what are the things which are not covered forever? Go through that. Go through that once. Okay, and then comes the conditions of coverage. The conditions are the first, as we have just dealt with conditions of coverage. Three things should happen. That is, there should be a diagnosis, disease detection, and treatment for the diagnosed disease as an inpatient in the hospital. Okay. Then comes the room rent eligibility. What is the room rent eligibility which is there under your policy? The room rent eligibility is less, then it is going to have an impact on the final bill. How it is going to happen? As we have also seen in one of our webinars sessions which we have done earlier, the impact of room rent on the claim processing. Okay. Let me just debrief once again here. If say suppose in a particular policy, there is a room rent eligibility of 5,000 rupees, right? And 5,000 rupees, and then when we get into the hospital, the 5,000 rupees room is not available. Then we are forced to get into a next level room, probably a 6,000 rupees room. And then the entire bill, say suppose it has come to 1 lakh rupee. Now, it is what we think, it is 2-3 days in the hospital, probably we'll just pay that 3,000 rupees extra, that 1,000 extra on 5,000 extra to the hospital, and we'll get discharged. That's what we generally think of. But there lies the real trap. The trap is, it is 1,000 rupees extra on 5,000 you stayed in the room rent. Right? 1,000 rupees more on the eligible room rent. How much percentage is that? It is 20%. So 20% of the total bill they will deduct at the end because you stayed in more than the eligible limit. Got it? Got it? Okay. So there lies the real reason why you have to look into this room rent eligibility. Room rent eligibility, if there is no limit on that, absolutely fantastic. You can get into any room of the hospital and then you can get yourself treated. And there are two kinds of room rents again. It's a normal room and then the ICU. ICU, many of the companies, they offer 2% of sum assured. Sometimes we also have the products where there is no limit at all. So they will go for actuals. Okay. So ICU, actuals, room rent, the normal room rent, they also say even the single standard AC room. I think I can say 70% of the people who say of the policies which we have in the market, they give a single standard AC room. Very few products in the market they give a suite room as an eligibility. Okay, single standard AC room means a single room with an AC with no additional features like a separate phone or separate TV or things like that. Okay, so these are the details which you have to review and understand the eligibility what you have under the policy. Okay, then comes the copay. Are there any copay terms which are inbuilt into the policy? If say suppose a person takes a policy of for the first time more than 60 years, more than 60 years, if he has taken the policy for the first time, there will be a minimum of 20% copay, because the regulator he himself said there will be a copay for the people of more than 60 years if they are taking the policy for the first time. But say suppose somebody has taken the policy at the age of 60 and then the next year the renewal comes, there is no co-payment, because the first time he has taken the policy is at age 60, which is okay, there is no co-payment. So check through these details. And sometimes we have also seen if there is any pre-existing condition, there is a co-payment on that, especially on the senior citizen policies. Okay, there is a co-payment of 50%, there is a co-payment of 30%. So there's so many things which are there. So go through all those details. You need to understand. Probably see we get to see all these details very well. We get to see all these details very well when we are trying to purchase the policy for the first time. But after that we just forget, and we don't even give the importance for the renewal. So what we request is go through the details. Go through the details like your copay, which is inbuilt into the policy. Whether is there any copay or not, and are there any disease-wise cappings which are there on the policy? If there is no disease-wise capping, good enough. If there is any disease-wise capping, probably on a pre-existing kind of condition, check through that. If it is so, then probably you have to look for porting your policy to some other product of another insurance company, or even migrating it to another insurance policy of the same insurance company. Okay, all those things are possible only during the renewal. Okay, so don't just take so lightly on just pay the premium. Just review your policy on renewal. Okay, then comes the no claim bonus. No claim bonus, how much got accumulated, how much is going to be accumulated. Okay, so what is the percentage? We found three different strategies over here. Sometimes people say you will have 20% in the first year and 10% every year, up to maximum of 50% of sum assured as a no claim bonus. Okay, we have also seen different other kind of policies wherein they say 25% in the first year and then 10% every year until it becomes 100%. We have also seen few more products in the market wherein it is an enhanced bonus structure, wherein they will go up to 150% of sum assured as bonus. Okay, so there are different kinds of bonus. So what kind of bonus structure does your policy have? And did we already receive those bonuses in the earlier past history? This is one. Second most important thing, in the bonus structure, it is not just before the claim, but after the claim, how it works. Most of the people after the claim, the bonus get reduced or it is completely taken off. Few companies in the market, they will reduce it, but they will not increase it further if there is no bonus, if there is no claim. And there are third set of companies wherein they will reduce the bonus if there is a claim, but at the same time, after that 1 year, if there is no claim once again, they will increase the bonus once again. If you ask me which is the best, the third set of companies wherein the bonus get reduced and after that they will regain the bonus if there is no claim, that's the best part. Few companies, they also give a bonus guaranteed kind of a rider wherein you have to pay a little premium extra. Whether it's a claim or no claim, the bonus will still be there as intact. Different versions. Look at your policy. You need to have any help. Me and my team, we are always there. You can actually dial up this number 7569 645 645. This is the number on which me and my team will be available. Just give me this call. We'll come back to you and then we'll help you. We are always with you. Okay. With that, you should also look into what are the additional benefits you have, because sometimes on every renewal there is a medical examination which is given free of cost, right? And sometimes even some more discounts which are actually given on any other third party vendor purchases. Few companies, they also give a discount on your premium if you have actually done some physical exercises on a daily basis, and number of calories which has been calculated, number of steps which you have actually did it on a daily basis, number of so it is only on a preventive setup what they will be giving you as a support, and that will actually reduce your renewal premiums. Have you actually made a note of that? Have you actually made a note and represented it to the insurance company? Otherwise, how will they do? Okay, so these are the conditions which you have to take care, and the valued benefits like the health checkup, the wellness discount, all these things you have to go through it. Right? Need any help? You are there. You can just take in a photograph of this, or you can also type in this in your web browser. So will give us the details. We'll be out there to help you out. Okay. So, and the third important thing which we have to take care are check the value for your premium paid. Okay. How do you do that? What is the premium per lakh? Say suppose you have a 5 lakh policy or a 10 lakh policy. What is the premium which you are paying? The moment you are paying the premium, then divide it per lakh and see what is the amount of premium that you are paying for that. Something sometimes if we actually increase or enhance the premium, then your premium per lakh will come down. That's the real unlocking of the value of the premium what you pay. Okay, so we need to look into the new policy versus the existing policy. If there's any new policy which have come up in the market, right? And what is the premiums in that? And is this your existing policy giving you the same benefits for the same premium, or the new policy is giving you better benefits? If so, is it from the same insurance company? Then go for migration. Or is it from different product of different insurance company? Go for portability. Right? So these decisions can be taken, and things need to be taken care during the renewal of the policy. Now, the existing sum assured, what is the premium per lakh? If we enhance the sum assured, what is the premium per lakh? I'll give you one example. There's a new a young couple, only husband and wife, just married. They have an existing policy of 5 lakh rupees. And the premium what they were paying is almost close to around 30,000 rupees per annum. What we said, why are you actually looking at 5 lakh policy? And better you go for a 1 crore policy. In a 1 crore policy, they were actually paying around 37,779 as the premium per year. And they have a maternity coverage of 1 lakh rupee under that 1 crore policy, which is beneficial. Moreover, they have some add-on benefits. Add-on benefits like they have this personal accident plan which is coming free of cost up to 1 crore, which normally if somebody takes it outside, it is around 11,000 rupees. Then they have some OP medical, OP dental, which can be taken care, which is given as 15,000 rupees for every 3 years of block period. And then they have an OP benefit of 5,000 rupees. And every year medical examination of 5,000 rupees. So if we calculate all these things, the value what they can get back even without getting into the hospital as an inpatient is up to 26,000 rupees per annum. So they are paying 37,000. Now the value what they're getting back is around 26,000. So the rest of the amount is almost around 12,000 rupees. So the same 12,000 rupees they are paying it here, getting a better coverage, better value addition, and guess what? The maternity benefit is coming up, and the baby day one coverage is also coming up. This is we are seeing the neonatal problems which are coming up, wherein the newborn baby will be put into the neonatal ICU, And we have seen in a case wherein 1 lakh rupee has been charged by the hospital for the criticality, and the child was in the hospital for almost 21 days. See the kind of bills. All these things can be taken care if we have the right kind of product in place, with which is befitting into your current situation of the life. Okay, so you need to check through your existing sum assured versus the enhancement of sum assured. We should also even look into whether we need to go for a top up, or do we need to go for a family flow enhancement of sum assured, right? And then whether we need to go for a family floater, or do we need to go for an individual sum assured. What we suggest, see, in the earlier ages, or in the early ages wherein the husband, wife, and children are there, the dependent children are there, we suggest you go for a floater coverage, because you will have a larger coverage for a smaller premium. But the moment you go older and older, what we suggest is better you go for an individual sum assured. Because sometimes what happens, the moment a person in the family goes beyond 60 years, the premium shoots up very high. The wife is less than, the spouse is less than 60 years, and the husband is more than 60 years, then the premium will be much better if we actually split the policy into individual sum assureds rather than going for a floater coverage, right? And probably by that time, even the health might be deteriorated a little bit, so they need to have a better coverage in place. So in those situations, we suggest to go for an individual sum assured rather than a floater sum assured. Okay, we need to check through that, right? And the value for premium. The value for premium is again the same, right? So what is the premium per lakh? What is the premium per lakh of sum assured? And what is the total premium that you'll be paying in your entire lifetime? So in the entire lifetime, how much of premium you will be paying? That should never be more than the sum assured. This is the thumb rule. So the thumb rule is your entire life premium, what you pay, should never be more than the sum assured. We did a small calculation in that, and we have taken the entire premiums of almost 10 different top products of different insurance companies, and then when we actually analyzed it, like a person from 25-year-old, if he pays the premium up to age 99, but in between he get married, and then 2 children coming up, then children becoming independent, and then they'll be removed from the policy. When we have taken all these permutations and combinations and the real life situations, right, what we have seen, and that's actually shocking when we actually read it. A 5 lakh plan, the person will be paying almost 17.5 lakh of premium in the entire life. That means your money is going to be more with the insurance company than what you can get from the insurance company if there are no claims. Okay. Now, when we have actually seen where exactly at what sum assured it is actually breaking even. Okay, the sum assured at which the exact break even is happening is at around 25 lakhs. And for a 25 lakh policy, a person has started and paid it till age 99. The premium what he'll be paying in the entire lifetime is around 24 lakh 78,000. Right? Means at 25 lakhs it is actually breaking even. And if you actually take a 1 crore policy, right, from the age 25, pay till age 99, you know the premium what they'll be paying? 33 lakhs of premium. But the coverage is for 1 crore. Okay, now you understood. It's not just the premium per lakh, but it's the premium which you will be paying for the entire life. That will actually define whether your product is a good one or giving a better coverage for you or not. Got it? I hope you are enjoying it, right? Okay. Now let's see the next one. So if based on these things, either we have to increase the sum assured in the same plan, or we may have to migrate to a different product of the same insurance company, or we need to go for a portability. Okay, and then the existing sum assured versus enhanced sum assured. What are the things that we need to look at? Premium per lakh of sum assured, of course. The total premium paid for the entire lifetime, yes. And what is the current age? If the current age is around, say, 30 years, right? Definitely, there will not be a major health issues which can turn up, uh, but the chances of actually getting into the hospital is probably after 30 years. The current situation in the pandemic a person getting in the hospital 10 lakhs is something which is like mandatory. 10 lakhs mandatory now, but after 30 years, will that 10 lakhs be enough? And if we want to increase it after there is a medical emergency which is coming up, none of the insurance companies will give you. So have as much as high sum assured as possible, and the requirement after 30 years, the same 10 lakhs, it will be almost close to 89 lakhs with the current medical inflation of 7.12%. Right? The inflation changes, the requirement also changes. Okay, and so based on your current age and based on the inflation, we need to look at whether we need to enhance the sum assured or not. Okay, right? And then comes the top up versus enhanced sum assured. In a young age, we suggest that you need to go for enhancement of sum assured. And if there is any claim which comes up and the health conditions little deteriorate, then we suggest go for the top up, because in top up the pre-existing conditions are covered after 1 year. We also have different kinds of top-ups over here. One top-up wherein it can be used only once in the entire policy term. In 1 year, it can be used only once. And that too, the total bill should be more than the deductible amount. If it is not more than the deductible amount, then it is never paid. Okay, right? This is one kind what we have the top up. The second kind, every time you can have number of claims under the policy, but every time it should be more than the deductible amount. The third variety what we have, whether it is one claim or multiple claims, the cumulative claimed amount or medical expenses should be more than the deductible, and the claim can be payable under the top up n number of times. This is the third one. If you ask me which is the best, go for the third one, wherein the cumulative medical expenses should be more than the deductible, and it can be actually paid in n number of claims until the sum assured is exhausted. Okay, so we need to select which one is the best, right? And then the premium per lakh, which is the best, the current age and the inflation, all these factors does matter whether we need to go for a top up or whether we need to go for an enhanced sum assured. We're also going to do a webinar on this. Probably just you can actually look into the next webinar. This is a topic like this is a huge topic by itself. So it's whether it's a top up or enhancement of sum assured, which is the best, and in what conditions can we actually do it. Watch for in our next webinar. Okay, right? And then individual sum assured versus the floater sum assured. So the dependent children are now becoming independent, then go for individual sum assured. You need to also again calculate the premium per lakh and then the current age and the inflation. All these factors does matter in taking the decision on the value for the premium what you are actually paying. You need any help? The QR code is here. The link is out there. You can actually click on that and we'll be out there. Me and my team we are always there. We don't represent any insurance company. We represent only yourself. We try to give an independent and a neutral approach towards the solutions and review your existing policies. Or you can also even dial up this number. It is 7569 645 645. This is a helpline number. You can just call up, give a missed call. We'll call you up and then we'll fix up an appointment and we'll be out there to give you this. Normally to review the policies, we charge around 5,000 rupees per family. Okay, but for the people who are there on this webinar, we are giving it free of cost. Just grab it. It is not open. This offer is not open. You just grab it, click on the link and then come to us. Okay, right? So the conclusion over here is whenever you are actually going to do a renewal of your health insurance policy, just remember these three things. The first thing is health insurance renewal, right? You have to take care of three things. The first thing is check the details on your insurance copy. Check the details on your policy copy, right? And the second thing is check the details of your exclusions and the conditions of coverage under your existing health insurance policy. The third thing, check the value. Check the value for the premium what you're paying under your health insurance policy. The value should be the better. Sometimes even the enhanced sum assured or the higher sum assured is of more value for money rather than the lower sum assured. Check through that. Check also even the total premium which is paid under the entire lifetime in your health insurance policy. Okay, with that we come to a conclusion. So be happy. We are focused on being happy, healthy and wealthy. Protect all your family dreams from any of these medical emergencies or any of the medical emergency. Just protect having a right kind of coverage for your family, right? The action points which we need to follow are: take out your policy copy, check through the details, right? Analyze the details whether it is still is in a position to help you in handling your changed circumstances, right? And review your existing policy with your advisor. Okay, call him up on a breakfast, call him up on a dinner. Just go through the policies and then analyze and then review your policies with your advisor. If you are facing any issue out there, we are always there. You just dial up this number 7569 645 645. Me and my team will be always there to help you out in reviewing your policy. Okay, and the people who are attending this webinar, it's free of charge for you, right? And then discuss with your family members. This is something which we want to be very clear. We are here to cultivate the culture of discussing insurance on dining table. So it is not just like you purchase the policies and then keep it there in the safe. No, it's not like that. We purchase the policies and that should be known to our family members. If something is happening to your family members, of course we are there. We'll be going ahead and we'll be taking care of it. But say suppose something happened to ourselves, where should our family members go? How can they take care of ourselves, right? So they should know whom to contact, which number to be dialed, which network of hospitals are near to a house, wherein we can rush for the emergency support. Okay, like all these details they should be knowing, and all these details should be readily available for them to pick up and then do the action in the emergency condition. Okay, so with that you need any help, we are always there to review our existing policies, right? You can just take this QR code, take a picture, or even you can click on the link out there. We'll be always there to help you out. With that, we come to the end of this webinar session, right? So the three things which need to be taken care, while you are renewing your health insurance policy. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining us today and being on this webinar. We look forward for you to come back to our next webinar, and this webinar series is on every second Saturday and fourth Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. The purpose is only to provide clarity on what are the policies that you already have, such that you will have confidence on the policies you have, or planning to purchase any new policy, you will have enough of confidence. With that, thanks a lot. This is Mallapuram Rashikar. Get more from Mallapuram. Thank you.